Spiral Knights podcast, hosted by Lord Hood, Lazarus and Zagreus.
Episode 71, recorded on March 16th, 2014.
This is Lord Hood.
And this is Lads and Splay, and welcome to the Arsenal, a podcast where we talk about Spiral Knights.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly. I'm kind of winded right now, because we've been fighting... Oh, I suppose we can talk about that first. Where is episode 70? We had Sky Scython for episode 70. We talked about a lot of great stuff. It was a really good episode, I thought. But then the file...
I'm not permitted to speak about episode 70. I can neither confirm nor deny its existence.
So it's missing right now. All I have is a corrupted file from which the audio cannot be extracted for any less than $200, which is not something we're really enthralled in. So we're trying to see if we can recover it somehow, and if so, we will definitely publish it. If not, unfortunately, we will have to move on. Thank goodness it wasn't over an update week, though. Because if we talked like Gunner update and then didn't get the episode,
yeah,
that would be sad.
We would have lost our Microsoft sponsor that week.
Yeah, as it were, though, I think we're okay for now. But, anyways, Zhang he's definitely awake. We're kind of sitting here on Steam watching him play Spiral Knights, but he won't join us, so never mind. There's this lockbox. Shall we fight over it, or do you want to open it?
You can have it.
Alright. Well, I'm kind of afraid because my headphones just clicked, so I'm checking all my things, but it looks like we're okay.
Ding.
I think we're okay. Let's hope we're okay. We're trying a bunch of new things. The saddest thing is if we lose episode 71, because we're trying all these new things too. Be like, no! Anyways, here's this lockbox. Or, in Zhang's terminology, squeaky.
Squeaky.
And today in the lockbox we have the strangest armor to visit Spiral Knights.
Yes. Although not necessarily bad.
Not necessarily bad, just blue jello.
Odd.
Just blue jello. Economy returns to the Arsenal podcast, so let's talk about the economy a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's
as well as some knights are becoming so egotistical that they now have their own celestial bodies orbiting themselves.
Indeed. So we can talk about that. And lastly, lockdown classes in the Clockworks. What? What? Transmutations? Actually a very interesting one. So let's get to all of that and more. Let's dive right in. Yay. Zhang, how was your week?
So, Medicine, how was your week?
Bud, how was your week? Mission report goes something like this. Mission report is where we just talk about our gaming experiences since the last podcast. Hood, what have you been up to?
I've been playing a little Minecraft.
Hey, you're getting back into that.
Some Hearthstone, Killing Floor, and Spiral Knights. And Elder Scrolls Online. The beta was Friday, so I've been playing some of that too.
Nice. You didn't join us for the... Oh, you helped us out on Friday's stream, right?
Yeah, I tried to. My internet's more suited for other pursuits.
It's suited for 1,500 people all playing ESO together in one battle.
Yeah, apparently.
Much better than Spiral Knights.
Apparently so.
Well, that might be a strike against three rings, so let's not go there. Yeah, we had many words. They're hard. Many streams, and by that I mean 2, this week on Friday and Saturday. We've been testing Spiral Knights shopping list, and I think it's as balanced as it's ever going to get. So, next step is we're going to look to record Season 2 very soon, and that should be fun. So, once that happens, we'll let you guys know, and fun things will happen. That was about it. What have I been doing? Mainly Hearthstone. Heroes of the Storm intrigues me greatly. Blizzard's Dota-like game, but I don't know. I don't play Warcraft or Diablo or Starcraft, so I can't fanboy over it like some other people do. It's like, it's Uther fighting Diablo. It's so cool, but I don't know. I don't have too much attachment to that.
I don't know anything.
Yeah. But I think that was it. We got a bunch of long YouTube videos going up, a lot of stream stuff going up on the channel last week and this week. So if you are wanting some Spiral Knights in your diet, we got some hour-long stuff for you. up there. That's at youtube.com/sklayelite. You and I should record some more stuff.
Yeah.
People really liked... I've got some good feedback. Remember when we did our Winterfest stuff together?
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to play Winterfest for a while. This What Lag Is This video.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to like that, so that was fun. Maybe we should do more of that. I don't know. And if you guys want to see something, always you can let us know through whatever means, contacting in game even. But I guess that's that. Nice and simple. Let's get into the weekly news. Overheard at Moorcroft Manor. From the helmet of someone who likes some creature that requires a horn to fight with or something like that.
The helmet is supposed to be resembling to a demon called...
But first things first, we're going to address the Prismatic Bolted V Syndicate, which is still has its members, both declared and undeclared, running around with their much reduced numbers of Prismatic Bolted Vs, but yet Prismatic Bolted Vs nonetheless. We don't really know what's going on, to be honest, but we can go by what we're told. What we see is 3 Rings has the power to remove all Bolted Vs, and they're not, which is confusing. They're still up on the auction house for really cheap and stuff like that. But we also know they said if you have dealings with Prismatic Bolted Vs in any underhanded, illegitimate way, you are words are hard. You are liable for a ban. Thank you. So regardless of the fact that they haven't actually removed them all from the auction house, or they left you with 10 or 20 or 30 in your inventory, if you handled them, you still need to go and turn them in, or else you are liable to a ban. The only reason you know that it's legitimate, of course, is because the supply depot sales at the time were all really expensive stuff. Like we said, 32,000 energy Curious Mewcat. That's not cheap. And so if you got 5 off the auction house for like 500 crowns, then you done messed up, son. You done messed up. And because that's obviously not the value of the Prismatic Bolted Vs. I think we understand that the Prismatic Bolted B will never be the same in value, but at least it wasn't.
Not unless they just put a blanket, they carpet bomb it basically, and just take them all out of the system and then reintroduce them slowly. They could fix it, but as it is, there are plenty of legitimate ones that existed before this happened, and there's legitimate ones that exist now. So they can't just do that unless they want to.
It's true.
Make people angry.
But the other thing is just like, well, I got 5, maybe I can get away with it, right? Or something like that. But the other thing is, if you play through Steam, we can go on your profile and look in your Steam inventory and see all of your Prismatic Bolted Vs. It's not like you're hiding anything.
98,000 Bolted Vs.
I have seen this. I have done this. The bans, you do not want them to happen.
Yeah.
And
I've bought a couple from the auction house, but I see it as legitimate because I've seen them take them down from the auction house. 10,000 on the auction house for 100,000 crowns, and they've taken those down. But when there's one for 500 to 3,000, if it's going to be broken forever,
might as well play it like the stock market.
Might as well do it right now. I mean,
yeah. I still think you're on somewhat thin ice. You're treading somewhat dangerously. But again,
I have less than their required maximum.
Yeah, I think 3 Rings is under the impression, as everyone else is, that Prismatic Bolted Vs have forever lost their value in the game.
Yeah.
They're no longer valuable.
I bought 9 from the auction house, and I've been putting on some smaller stuff, just helmets and stuff, tier 1 stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those things. I mean, if you're on the Sparrow Knight server, they can see you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah, I make no secret of the fact. And I wasn't even there the day of the event, so I didn't have any of the 700.
It just scares me because it's black marked gear. It's gear marked for ban. And so you touch it, you are liable, kind of thing. Now, again, their behavior doesn't seem to match up with what they were claiming of we'll ban you if you've touched them and you don't turn them in kind of thing.
If you think about Volted Vs, we will find you and we will kill you.
And I know there's bigger fish to fry, per se. There's people running around with thousands of them.
Tens of thousands.
And trying to hide them and that kind of thing. And those people are getting dealt with. But at the same time, it's go to sprawlknights.com/support/#mail, #quote-unquote mail, and say, hey, I have Prismatic Bolted Vs. These were gotten illegitimately. Please take them away.
Yeah.
But then
I suppose I could just send them a support letter just to make sure and say, I got a couple from the auction house. That's okay, right? I mean,
yeah,
I just don't want to waste their time from legitimate things that are more pressing concerns.
That's true.
Because there's only one or two game masters online at any time.
Yeah.
And they have problems like people getting stuck in Vanaduke forever. And
yeah, that's true. But I'd be interested if you do that. Let us know what you get back.
Okay.
Because I mean, even if it takes them a little bit of time and they don't prioritize it, you can say don't prioritize this. It's fine or whatever. But I'd be interested to see what they say. If you say, is this okay? Yeah. But stay away from the prismatic bolted V syndicate. You're treading on dangerous ground. The right response to that is to submit a support ticket and say, hey, bolted V's here. You don't have to say, hey, bolted V's every time you see them. But if you have them, then you are standing dangerously. But that's that. That came to my attention again this week. People talking about it. It's like, At least it wasn't like Shadow Valkyrie wings, right? Or something actually valuable.
700, those would ruin everything. And everyone who wouldn't usually participate in a bug, they would be trying to get those because they're so cool.
Yeah.
That's dangerous ground right there.
And then treat it like a plague or something. But anyways, stay away from the prismatic bolted V syndicate, or PVs for short, PBVS. Don't join PVs. It's not worth it. It doesn't even sound like a good thing. PVs. I'm a member of PVs. Aren't you proud of me?
My father would be so proud.
Speaking of my father would be so proud, Spiral Knights, as usual for every week. That was not a segue at all, but we'll go with it. They released their concept art.
Speaking of something that has nothing to do with the subject I'm moving on to.
Concept art from way back when. And it was just a concept art thingy of words and facts, and actually none of the above. It was pictures. Sorry, words are hard for me today. I've been technicaling my brain off. But this is a picture that got posted to their social medias. It's one of, I assume, Cherub's original drawings of the knight crawling out of the escape pod on a strange new planet, and was brought with the question of, what were your first moments in Spiral Knights like? I'd be curious, Hood. Do you have any notable expression of what your first moments in Spiral Knights like? What they were like? Ugh.
I don't know. It was interesting. I was excited, I guess. I don't really remember. It was so many years ago.
Did you start playing independently of me, or did I encourage you to play? I can't remember.
I started playing independently of you, and then we were like, wait, you play Spiral Knights?
Oh, that's right. And you were ahead of me by that point. You had a lot more than I had, because you invested a little bit of money into it. That's right. I remember this now. And then you paid me lots of energy for a CD.
Yeah.
That was funny. I conned Lord Hood at one point. It was great. Anyways, what were my first moments in Spiral Knights like? Curious. It's like, top-down, third-person hack and slash. This is interesting, but obviously I kept playing it. I stayed at 2-star, 3-star for the longest time, but that's not really first moments anymore. That's 100th moments and such. More than that. But it was the old tutorial, which is fading from memory, and I can no longer really remember what it was like, but... In fact, what was it like? There was that one mission that was 5 energy that you could run forever until you chose to cross the chasm before missions.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'd spam that 5 energy mission for a long time before actually going across, because mist energy was still a thing, and it was a good source of crowns.
Crowns and heat, which heat you could level up multiple things at the same time, like multiple levels at the same time.
The glory days. That level 10 proto sword,
Yeah, that level
good
10
stuff.
Proto sword. Actually, I don't even know if on my current night, I don't think I even leveled up my proto stuff all the way. I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah, Greenlink and I did to test Spiral Knight Shopping List, we did a proto Snarblax run. And we had different leveled proto swords, and so they were doing different amounts of damage by 1 point. It was interesting. Heat your proto swords. It's totally not worth it, but it's fun. So there was a patch on Wednesday, and it was just a bug fix patch, but it was confirmed that if you open an empty gift box, you can contact support, and 3 Rings will recover your items for you. Because I did this last week after last week's podcast, and I got recording of it, but then I lost the video because corruption happens. And it was an empty box, though, from Magnum Frost. So turns out he sent me a box, and it was like, what's this? And I opened it, and when I opened it, do you remember it lagged everyone really bad?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We were all in the advanced training hall.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Everyone's like...
Yeah, everyone just stopped all at once, and we're like, oh man, opening this box lagged everyone. And that was, I assume now that was because it was bugged, because I thought it was just empty. I'm like, oh, there's nothing in here. But turns out it was because they were bugged, and none of them were actually giving what was inside. So I tweeted Spiral Knights, and I said, hey, once this Wednesday patch came out, it says, hey, we fixed them. I'm like, can I get my stuff back? And they're like, yes, send a support ticket. I said, I'll send the support ticket. I sent it like, we got your stuff back. Here you go. It was one of those Spiral Knights automated whatever, and it was 1 ecto drop. I'm like, I'm sorry I made you do that 3 rings. I didn't know it was 1 ecto
Game
drop.
Master, he looked up the episode, probably like...
Yeah, they were totally like, here, have your ecto drop.
Yeah, like 30,000 people all trying to get their 1 ecto drop.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what? Oh, and that's right. I remember very soon after starting playing, because they're talking about it in the chat, I started playing while the Snarblacks was still on the news screen when you'd log in. It was like, hey, try the Snarblacks.
Yeah.
And that was right when I joined. So I remember the first time I got to the Snarblacks, that was...
I beat it up in Predator Gear solo.
I went with a group of people. It was fun. That was one of the things that convinced me that I kind of liked this game was...
Snarblacks.
Yeah.
Or community running with people.
Yes. All of the above.
Yes,
but also the annoyance of it takes you long enough to beat without sprite powers to beat down 1 Wolver with Proto alone, much less one of you in Proto with 3 other people in your party. Like, that's ridiculous. It took so long to win. But anyways, so there was that. The Helix Monument was added to the Haven Snipe Garden, and by Helix Monument I mean if you go to the Snipe Garden, there's this big box with knights standing on and around it.
Is that what it's called?
Construction knights. It is not called that, but you may have noticed some people around... Have you noticed this? Some people like worshipping the box like it's a religion or something.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
The NPCs?
No, actual players.
Okay.
Like in zone chat and stuff. They're talking about like...
Yeah, I've heard so many theories about it. Have I told you some of the theories I've heard?
No, go for it.
Okay, one of them that it was a shrine to Nick, and I kind of laughed at this one. Not very likely, but funny. The other one was, you know the statue right next to it?
Mm-hmm.
Monomi? The other theory, it was a shrine to Monomi. So.
Interesting.
Let me think. Something with the Gunner update.
Of course.
A statue of something. Let's see, what else did I hear? A statue of Lord Hood. I don't remember any other theories.
Huh. Well, one of the big ones...
One person said a large metal box.
Well, that's good. Plot twist, it's actually cardboard. Wow. Fall out of your seat, it's so groundbreaking. But if you hang around in Haven long enough, one of the most common theories that I'm seeing, because every time I'm in Haven I see it, people are worshipping the box, like bow down. Our great savior and this thing, the Helix Monument, because it's this box. Our very own Magnum Frost, who's a friend of ours, attends the streams, hangs out with us. And
is he the cult leader?
He was the cult leader. He was there. He's like, hey, I'm starting a cult. Come join me. I'm like, okay. And so he's just like, praise the great Helix Monument that has come to save us all, and bows respectfully, and he got everyone going. And I was there, standing there like, all praise the Dome Fossil, which was Twitch. If you do not know the difference between Helix and Dome, you can go and watch 7 days of Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Omanite and Kabuto.
Yeah. But the Twitch Plays Pokemon, which you know about that, right?
Yeah.
That whole thing.
The whole thing.
It spawned a meme of Helix and Dome fossils being... Like, the Dome fossil is evil, the Helix fossil is
Yeah,
like...
I imagine there was some division when that came up in that particular...
Well, what it was is you could drop most items, right? And so items ended up being used and stuff, but the Helix fossil could not be dropped. So it was like the first immortal item. Right? And so they chose Helix over Dome, and so Helix was the immortal item that they had with them the whole time through the game. And so it became a meme for a god of some kind. So I'll praise the Helix fossil. And I was like, praise the Dome fossil. And I got people saying, like, heretic, burn him at the stake. It was great. It was hilarious. So I'm like, praise the Dome fossil. And everyone was, like, raging. It was the best thing. But yeah, the reason for that is Pokemon. But if you hang around Haven long enough, you may see... especially in the US servers, you will see a lot of praising of the Helix Monument. Eventually, you'll hear someone say it. And if you see Magnum Frost, say, "Hey, thanks for starting a Spiral Knights meme /cult. You're great." And when it actually gets revealed, I'm sure there will be more to be done about that. And then lastly, the balance of the Equinox promotion, because promotions are the way that Three Rings make money. This came out on the 14th of March, which was 2 days ago, so Friday. And after raging against the Tortodrone, Spiral Knights wants everyone to chill out. And because some reason there's like some equinox balance, I don't know. I don't know enough about astronomy, and I don't even know what it is. But the strangers pause at the equinox to recognize a brief moment of cosmic balance
It's
on
not
cradles.
equinox.
Equinox. Yeah. I pronunciate words correctly. Take a moment during the equinox to put down your weapons, take a deep breath, and meditate on the workings of the universe. Then refresh, delve back into the clockworks with equipment that is out of this world. And by equipment, they mean one shield, because that's the only equipment available, other than costume. But they kind of want you to chill out after hating Tortodrone so much, I think, is the impression. I was reading from the patch notes. All of that gibberish, patch notes. So you can get these boxes, these Equinox prize boxes, through Equinox prize boxes, through CE purchases of $10 US or more, which is standard. Standard fare. You can get more if you spend more money. There's the new helmet and armor costume sets that look blue and jelly gelatin like. Yeah.
I think it's cool. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into wearing see-through clothes, then that's fine.
Why is it so out of place? I don't understand. There's nothing comparable to this in all of Spiral Knights.
I think Cherub just wanted to do something fun. He was like, what can I do that will surprise people? Ooh, I know.
Jello armor with...
I mean, it's kind of like Skelly, kind of. Not Skelly,
Jelly.
Jelly, yeah.
But even so, I mean, you can't... it doesn't match with almost anything. I've not seen a Equinox costume plus anything else that made much sense. I saw one person with with one of the chapeaus, one of the helmets, but that didn't even look right.
Yeah,
it's like, this is so strange.
Maybe they could come out with stuff in the future that'll match, though. I mean, you never know. They're always releasing new content.
I do have an interesting point before we even get into economics, and I'm going to talk about that for a little bit. But the new helmet, because I have a theory that because the helmets and the armor only go good with other helmets and armor of that type, is that a motivation to spend more boxes to get more armors and helmets so that you actually have a matching set? Could that actually be a thing?
That could very well be.
Where I'll incentivize you to buy more boxes because the only thing that this costume goes good with is other costume of this kind.
And the shield looks pretty cool. I call it the blue raspberry Twizzler shield.
So tell me about the shield. Tell us about the shield.
Shadow piercing and some status. What's the status on it?
No status.
No status.
It's just shadow piercing.
Shadow piercing. Yeah, it's cool. It looks like a squid.
Yes, it does look like a squid.
A blue squid. Mm-hmm. And the only practical use for it, which I can see practical use for, would be compounds, in which it would be useful.
Yeah. In theory, you might even take it into
Firestorm compounds.
Yeah. I mean, Firestorm Citadel is shadow and piercing, the slimes and but there's so much that's better than that. It's not worth... Like, I don't get excited...
It's a novelty. I mean, it's really rare, and it looks cool.
It's a practical Dark Fang shield.
Yeah, it's 5-star too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But, I don't know. I don't see... Oh man, 0.1% chance of getting this shield. I really want it. It's like, I don't actually want this shield. I would sell it in a heartbeat. I don't know, I wouldn't even keep it. It doesn't even look good with costumes or anything, because it's like this blue Jello shield. Blue raspberry Twizzler shield. It's like, I don't know. Shields. I don't have much faith in shields. I'm sorry. But there's also the Orbit Aura, which you referenced earlier.
Yes.
It's basically like I thought it was a paper cut out of a sun first, kind of like spinning on like this like little kids play or something. And
then it has that effect of like the globe effect. It's like the golden glow in the shape of a globe stick.
Yeah.
Effect. NJ Thug had one.
I'm not surprised.
Like instantly. Like Patch Notes and NG Thug has one. Okay.
Patch Notes, NJ Thug given all costumes. He's the secret
Yeah.
3 rings worker.
Oh, there's a conspiracy theory that NJ Thug is Eurydice. So.
Yeah. Somehow I doubt this, but who knows. Sun, so it's just the sun and the marks from like a star graph kind of all spinning around you in a circle.
Yes.
It makes you look like an astroglobe. Astrolabe, rather. Or a...
Astrolabe.
Words! Why do they exist? Because podcasting happens. So you wear the armors, you wear this thing, and suddenly you look like a planetarium. Congratulations. Everyone
You
point
look
and laugh
like
at
you're
that
a
guy.
mascot for a planetarium.
Yeah.
Like teaching first graders about the moon and stars and stuff.
Exactly.
No, nothing bad about it, but I mean, it's just kind of what it looks like.
It is. You just need to be holding a
Full
sign,
costume.
like spinning a sign on the side of the road. Like, different. Anyways.
Yeah, just don't make fun of anything artwork related.
Yeah.
Jared might hear you, and then we'll see how. It'll be like, well, we'll see how you like this art on your night. Turn you into Princess Peach, or if you're a girl, maybe Hulk Hogan, I think would be the best choice.
Well, there you go. And then there's also the plasma wings, which is like fire or like blue gas flame ejecting from your back is kind of what it looks like. It's like 2 flames.
It's
kind of
demon
things.
wings.
Yeah, it's very undefined. There's not a lot of lines in these wings. It's just like light.
Yeah.
It's like an apparition
It's
of
like
light.
you have 2 exhaust
Yes,
pipes
exactly.
sticking out of your back, and they're both
Yeah.
shooting fire out.
Yeah,
or
it's either
flamethrower.
fire or blue gas flame. 'Cause
Flamethrower backpack.
makes you run for MSI low.
Yeah.
For equipping it. But in any case, the last thing to note that's really interesting is that the old prize box statistics are back. This is not like a Frosty box. This is not like a Halo box. This is like a... What were some of the old promotions that did this? The ones where you had like an incredible high chance of getting a unique variant ticket instead of a costume?
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was.
I don't remember, but there was a series of promotions that all did that, and everyone had UVs on stings because they were buying boxes and getting UVs instead of costumes. This promotion is 80% chance of encountering a UV ticket and only a 20% chance of encountering one of the promo items, which is really interesting. I don't know why they brought this old system back, seeing as how much everyone hates it. Because I paid my $10 for a costume, not a UV ticket. Because $10 is surely not worth this 2 UV ticket that I just got.
Yeah, 20,000 crowns.
Yeah, or 75 even. 75,000. But, so that brings up an interesting point about the economy. We discussed this yesterday on stream, and I was encouraged to go ahead and share it, so this won't take too long. But the boxes are on sale, and of course, the cheapest you can get is 1 for $10 US. So, on the one hand, players are encouraged to buy more energy, to get more boxes, to unbox more things in hope of getting more costumes, right? Because, oh man, I got a UV ticket. I'll try again. Oh, I got another UV ticket. I'll try again. Okay, I got one of the things, right? Even if I got the shield. But 3 rings also just got $30 from you.
Yeah.
And so at $10 a pop, 3 rings kind of makes a lot of money from this, and seeing as how promotions are their only means of money.
I don't begrudge them their $30.
I don't either. I wouldn't spend that $30, to be honest. I don't have
but
that.
some people would. And
But some people would, and if you did that, that's kind of your thing. You can't hate them for giving you UV tickets. Mm-hmm. I think the UV tickets, though, is like the stuffing in the box. It's like 1 in 5 times you'll get it. So the encouragement is buy 5 boxes. Because you'll get 4 UV tickets, which you can use.
How many do you get with $50?
Pardon?
I thought you got a lot of boxes.
Yeah, you can get more. It increases. Which is also more encouragement to buy more, obviously, but that's straight up and down.
Well, I think you get a lot more boxes from buying $50 of energy than 10.
Yeah.
Or than $10 of energy. So.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's here, buy more boxes, because we're going to stuff them with UV tickets instead of costumes. And you can use the UV tickets, but you're not really getting what you wanted. So, I mean, there's that. Now, on the other hand, players are discouraged from buying. We were just talking about how they're encouraged, but they're also discouraged from buying because of their low odds of winning. Rather, they're inclined to go to blogs and forums and whine about the drop rates of the promo items. So, there's the other side of the argument, which is like, okay, you're giving us UV tickets. That is a incredible ripoff. How dare you?
Well, you're also getting the $10 with an energy.
That's what I was about to say. Is if you don't want it, don't buy it. But the prize box is your bonus in addition to the energy that you're already getting.
It's free. It's basically free stuff.
It is free stuff.
It's It's free stuff.
Now, the hope is if you really want the celestial stuff, then, I mean, so sorry.
And you can get off the auction house, too.
Get it off the auction house with that energy you just purchased. Or
Yeah.
good luck. Or buy $50 worth of boxes.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But if you don't want, don't buy. It's as straight as simple as that. It's
Yeah.
and if you do want, consider yourself supporting 3 Rings, as promotions are one of their main sources of income. So do not begrudge them, as you just so excellently said, because that's how they're making money. Because I think I understand that they used to make a lot of money off of elevator passes, but now that those are gone, it's like, there's more ways to free to play this game to the end game now. So if you're going to spend energy, you're just supporting them. And the other thing is, I want to be free to play, but I don't want to spend money, but I want these costumes. It's like, grr. Think about any other game that has skins. Think about Team Fortress 2 and their hats. Think about any Dota-like, like League of Legends, Smite, or anything like that, and Zane could tell us about the number of skins in those games that cost money. You can, if you grind for a really long time, you can buy one of those skins using your free-to-play.
Yeah.
Or you can spend money and just get them, right? Buy a hat with real money in Team Fortress 2.
There's currently... Is there anything in Spiral Knights that you cannot get without buying money?
No?
Because the starter pack, there used to be like the Green Ward and the Static Flash, you couldn't get that. But
now they come unbound.
Now they come unbound. As well as, I guess there is that one costume, the Plasma Tech demo. So it's one costume set that's premium only.
Yeah.
That's not anything.
Beyond that, consider the costumes and promotions in Spiral Knights to be kind of like hats in Team Fortress 2, or skins in any game that does that.
Yeah.
Because it's pay real money if you're really committed to the game. Otherwise, you can function perfectly well without looking like a blue piece of walking jello. And that's okay.
Yeah, you don't wander by a bunch of hungry gremlins while wearing that. They'll be like, ooh.
You can like merge with the slimes. You're like, I've become one of them.
Yeah. There's like
their leader.
a knight's head sticking out of a leeching colony.
It's like, I am your leader now. I will be their god. No. But at the end of the day, if you don't want, don't buy. If you do want, you're supporting 3 Rings. You are getting what you paid for, plus bonuses. Enjoy your UVs and or costume if you are the 1 in 5. And if you are the 1 in 1,000 and get the, I think it's 1 in 1,000. It might be 1 in 100. That get the other stuff, the wings and the auras, and there's also crests, new crests. Those are lower chance than the costumes. So enjoy that, and enjoy supporting 3 Rings, and we thank you for it. So, there's your economy. Also, can you explain this? Because I cannot. I have no clue why the energy to crown ratio has dropped to about 6,000.
Yeah,
It was 6,000 yesterday. It was 75 last week, and suddenly, poof, it's gone. Like, how does that
I can't
happen?
see any external factors that would affect it so
I don't
dramatically.
either. It's just the exchange rate went down. It's
Maybe
weird.
3 Rings hooked up a fire hose of CE and started pumping it into the system.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Are that many people buying energy packs to get the celestial stuff?
That could affect it
It
if a
could
lot of people did.
Yeah, but how many to pull it down by 1,000 crowns? That's ridiculous. That doesn't really happen.
There's around 500 to 1,000 people playing Spiral Knights on Steam, just on Steam at any given time. So, I mean, if 1/10 of those people buy $10 worth of energy, that's
a lot of energy, but I mean, with
that's
the
$1,000 worth of energy.
I mean, in general, from any general economics standpoint, surplus of energy in this case drives the price down, which it's doing right now, which in turn drives the demand up. Everyone wants it because it's cheaper, which then drives the supply down because it's all getting bought, and then it restabilizes. That said, we are in the drives the price down stage right now as of yesterday. I don't know what it is right now. So if you want to buy energy for cheap, get it now because it's going to come back up, is the assumption. That said, that's a really large flux. I didn't expect to go down to 6,000. But that's crazy. You can hit K on your keyboard to go to the supply depot and click on, trade? And you can see the energy trading market there. And so you can get into that. We have a sprint question now that we're done with economics. which we're just asking. You have 1 minute to answer this question.
Okay.
So are you prepared?
Yes.
And avoid the clicking whenever possible, please. But, so are you prepared?
Yes.
This question is, which flourish is the best? As opposed to, compared to flourish, barbarous, like Final Flourish, barbarous Thornblade, Rigadoon, or Flamberge.
Okay.
From the 5-star standpoint, or the 2-star standpoint, with your choice.
Rigadoon.
Which one is better? Which one is best? Go.
Rigadoon.
Why?
Because it's the best. Stun. It's everything the flourish is with slightly less damage and stun. Stun can be immensely helpful and save your life in many occasions.
I will admit that I prefer the stun to the fire, especially against fiends and beasts, because fiends and beasts are so quick. It's much better to have them stunned than on fire. Okay. Sure. I'm going to say barbarous. Because, in my observation, in Tier 3, a Flourish and a Barbarous Thornblade will 3-hit kill a fiend or a beast. A Rigadoon or Flamberge will take 4 hits, in most circumstances. I do not understand why I would want to slow them down to sit there and attack them longer, when I could just kill them faster. Because that makes more sense to me to just kill them faster, rather than to leave them alive and, haha, you're slow now.
Of course, if they're going to attack after 2 hits, Barbarous Stormblade, you attack 2 times and it hits you. Rigadoon, you can attack 2 times and it stuns them, then attack 2 more times. So it can save you in that circumstance.
But usually if you're attacking them, that won't usually be the case, because the swords are all the flourishes and variants are built to be really quick.
Yeah.
On purpose, because you're fighting beasts and fiends, so you need to be able to swing and move. So that's why they're built that way. They're built to be quick. But
although they can also stun groups of enemies, so if you're crowded, you can stun 4 fiends at the same time. So
yes, if you're incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
Not to mention that fiends don't necessarily, they're not like super effective stun. Like they stay stunned for a couple seconds.
Yeah, which is enough to escape.
Enough to escape. But if I had my Barbarous Thornblade, I could just be in there and 3 swing, and then they're all dead.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd just rather kill them. And then Barbarous versus Flourish, why do I like Barbarous better? The charge is better. Basically, hands down, the charge is better. The only time the Flourish is better if you're 1v1ing an Alpha Wolver. Because you can charge, and then it's generally dead. Whereas the Barbarous won't do that.
It's a pinpoint attack.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is that to get started, when you start the game, you kind of need Orbs of Alchemy and stuff. You're trying to make all your gear. So you don't really have the resources to make a Flourish. Mm-hmm. So instead, go and do Snarvelax, get crowns, make a Brandish, because that's a really good sword, and you should get a Brandish first when you start playing the game, and then just get a Snarvelbarb free sword. Yay. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like Barbarous more than Flourish for the starting.
Yeah.
But
of course, if you have the resources to make a Brandish, then you have the resources to make
a Flourish. But why would you make a Flourish when you could make a Brandish and a Thornblade? So that way you have your Elemental / Shadow path and your Piercing path. It's of course, like free sword.
A Flourish. If you made a Flourish, it would help you get to the Barbarous quicker, because you could beat the Snorlax more times.
Oh, wow. This is true. But then what would you use to fight constructs? Because there's lots of constructs in that level. Would you bring your Protosword along? No, you just bring a Brandish. Brandish fights everything. And then you get your Snarvelbarb.
Yeah.
And then happy days.
Of course, you also wouldn't want to have a Flourish and a Barb. So
yes, this is good. So get a Barb first, get a Brandish, make that Brandish into an Acheron, and then buy the OCH DLC and get the Warhammer. And then that's all the swords you ever need. Acheron, Warhammer, and Barbarous. Yay.
And Scissorblades.
And Scissorblades. Scissorblade's OP.
There was one in the auction house.
What was there?
Yeah,
not on featured?
Just it was on featured.
Oh, featured, okay.
1.6 million, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Last I checked. Well, it could...
The Scissorblades was the sole reason for the drop in energy to crown ratio from 7 to 6,000.
Everyone bought energy to just convert it to crowns to bid on the Scissorblades.
Because everyone knows Scissorblades are OP. All right.
That's because Bechamel uses them.
And Bechamel is OP? What?
And Bechamel wears pretty colors to confuse his enemies.
He wears pretty colors to confuse his enemies. Underline, question mark, a paled face of dismay. Who wears purple and flowers? Why would you do this? Alright. Speaking of strange ideas like Bechamel, let's move on to some other strange ideas in transmutations. Transmutations. Transmutations is where we talk about ideas that we want to see added to the game. So we're going to skip that one because we're running low on time. And we'll skip this one too, so skip the ones that are marked with skip. But, because we want to be able to get through the whole show. But we do have, people have been submitting stuff to us, and so we will go through these. The first one here is from Heroia, and if I'm not mistaken, Heroia is a he. So, and he says, special rooms that include lockdown gear. So you use the specific gear and work as a team to complete a certain challenge. So it's like a danger room kind of thing.
It's a mini game.
Yeah, it's a mini game. And so you could use, say, the striker gear to like outrun a rampaging tortodrone. And you're like running down a path and you have to like dodge obstacles and spikes and stuff, traps and stuff like that.
Temple Run.
Excuse me. Yeah, Temple Run in Straw Knights. There's the Guardian one, which is use the Guardian gear to defend or escort some sprites or knights or lost strangers to a position down the map. And so you're just getting attacked. And maybe you have no weapons or something. And then Recon gear is you gather an item behind enemy lines and return the minimal amount with the minimal amount of enemies attacking or following. And after one of these challenges would be complete, a treasure room comparable to the end of an arena would be unlocked. So, yeah, minigame involving lockdown class gear.
Okay, I had a couple of short ones from Mini Giggy, Remember My Guild.
Okay.
And he said, I think we've already talked about rifles, longer range, slower speed, attachments that you either pick up, like a speed boost, or that you get from the lockbox and it can attach your weapons. Also, you have shields on your back in Haven, so why can't you have weapons on your back too? I mean, a lot of them have sheaths. I mean, some of the swords have sheaths that you can use. That could be weird. You could wear them on your waist, or if you could just wear them attached to the underside of your shield, so the handle's sticking out and the blade's sticking out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Also, Clockwork's Lockdown. Just like the normal Lockdown, except 2 teams. One team is only knights, and one team is actual enemies from the Clockworks. And all the monsters have abilities similar to Recon, Guardian, and Striker classes.
So, would I see...
A Gremlin Guardian.
Yeah, what?
Or a Lumber Guardian.
Why would you do that instead of just play Lockdown, though?
Because it's fun, I guess.
And so would you rather have that or Heroia's idea? Because I think I like Heroia's more.
They don't
where you're kind of doing a
contradict each other, though. So
this is true.
It would be another thing to the Coliseum to replace dead Blast Network.
Well, I think Moroka of YouTube.com/buttonmashed empire. He's trying to revive Blast Network.
Yeah. Maybe you could actually play the enemies. I don't know.
That would be weird. Yeah. But, I don't know.
Wrench Wand. Healing.
Yeah. I'm kind of partial to Heroia's idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
to go back to that. But I like the weapons on the back. That'd just be a nice little aesthetic change.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. How could you wear a bomb on your back?
I don't know. Yeah.
Just off on a swing?
You could wear it on your belt or like on a bandolier or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool. All right.
Have a big angry bomb like sticking out like a gigantic basketball.
I don't know. But, yeah. I don't know. I'd play mini games with Striker, Recon, and Guardian. I think I'd also play against the AI, but I feel like it'd be really easy. Somehow.
They could up it to, like, Shadow Layer level.
But then you would never win, because it's like a Guardian Lumber that just hits you and you die. And then
hits you until you...
And then it just regenerates health, because it's got its Guardian shield up, and then...
Yeah. That's what would make it interesting.
And then Recon Silkwings that are healing and they're invisible and you can't even tell where they are.
Invisible Silkwings. That would be awesome.
That would be like bomb. The only thing you could do in those levels is bomb.
They already have Recon Gremlins, so.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is actually very true. Snakes S17. Snakes S17 he said that he thinks that if you or your enemies are on fire, they should gain a movement speed increase bonus. Which is really interesting. Because if you're lit on fire, you start running around
You
faster.
start running around like a chicken with its head cut off.
Which would also introduce some interesting strategies, like lighting yourself on fire with the Fang of Og to increase your movement speed.
Hearthstone mage attacking your own guy.
Yeah. And here's the trick.
Doing
You
range.
use the Fang of Og to light yourself on fire so that you can move faster. Then you go into the Striker minigame room that Hiroya suggested and beat it faster because you can move faster. Wow. Such pro strats. Huh. I don't know.
Pro
but
stuff about stuff, combining stuff that that neither of things
Yeah.
exist currently.
And then you have one that's your conjuring, or do you want to flesh that out more? The armbands.
Armband, let's see.
Is it like a drug patch?
Mobile auction house. You can buy something that you can wear on your arm that you can check, like it'd be like being able to check stock prices on your phone, like just like bid on stuff and stuff like that when you're in the Clockworks or when you're in a guild hall with no auction house when you're in another part of Haven.
That'd be interesting.
I mean-
Just have this like PDA.
Yeah, like a
That you
PDA
carry
that
with
you can
you?
an auction house uplink or something.
And it would have you could do a lot of things, but you'd have limited features,
Yeah.
maybe. So you could see statistics about the level you're on, maybe.
Yeah.
Information, or maybe you could see the energy to crown price without being able to buy it or something. Interesting. I don't know. I don't do too much merching.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure it would be too useful for me, but I know a lot of other people are in guild chat. They're like, "Hey, I'm in Vanadu. Can you check the price of this stuff for me?"
Light shards are down to 6 crowns per. Buy them all, buy them all.
Yeah.
Now sell them for 5.5 crowns. And
Someone should do that though. Like 2 times a day, check and see what the going rate for these things are for like low materials, and like graph them, and you can like play them like stocks.
that would be really interesting, actually, to see a graph of that, like ectojobs or something.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think I'd like that.
Do it.
I do not have the time, sir. I'm sorry. But also, it's 24/7. It's not like the stock market that lasts from 8 to 4
Yeah.
and 5 days a week. It's like 24 hours all the time, everywhere. Even the energy to crowns ratio, I'd like to see how it goes. And if you could-
Especially this past week.
I mean, if you could, and there's things that we can't track either, like volume, like how much is being traded, how many people are clicking the button, because that would
Yeah.
be really good to know too. But
We could ask the Game Masters
see if
how
they
many
provide-
ectodrops are currently in this Fahrenheit system. 500 billion.
more than there are people on planet Earth. All
I
right.
wouldn't be surprised at all.
Well, speaking about being on planet Earth or not being on planet Earth, there's some stuff in Spiral Recon that might have something to do with this really bad segue. Yeah. Spiral Order Recon. I got it. Yikes. And Greenlink is also saying, you could just ask manually. Did you just click the button just now? How about now? Did you buy energy just now? How about now? Did you? Oh, that's funny. Okay. 2 videos this week is what we want to feature. First of all, Sir Jinx's Spiral Knights animation card game, exclamation point hype. This is hilarious. If you haven't seen this, you need to see this.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
This was great. It's like, it breaks the fourth wall. It has like references on references.
On
It's
references on references.
clever. It's Spiral Knights card game. So much good, and watch it. Also, be aware that we are actually behind the scenes, a team of us, including Maroka, HRPB, Greenlink, Zangrius, myself. You weren't there when we started working on it. I think that's everybody. We're working on a Spiral Knights card game. We have a system figured out. It's slightly unique.
I was there for the original conception of it.
This is true. And so, I think we were adding Sir Jinxable to the ranks of that. But that should be fun. Oh, and Snakes. Snakes is in on it. Thank you. The other one is HRPB's The Spiral Matrix, and he did something really clever here. The intro and outro are a bit long, but that's because of the video that he used, the footage that he used. But he did like this Matrix thing. These 2 knights are about to fight each other, and so they go at it. And you know how like the Matrix, it slows down and the camera like pans around this like slow motion scene. He does that because he uses the stills. in Spiral Spy and just rotates around them as if it's in slow motion. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have never thought to do that, but that is really smart.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Zang gets beaten up pretty badly.
Yeah, Zhang always loses. You should make HIPB, before you incur more wrath of Zhang, you should make one where he wins. Also, I still wish you had used real voices. I still think that would have been awesome. Instead of chat boxes, use instead of like speech bubbles, use real voices instead. I think that would be par excellence, but what am I to speak in foreign languages? No one! Okay. So that's that. There's also, of course, Fan Art Friday.
I know who you stole that from, too.
What?
I know who you stole that from, too, today. Par excellence.
I don't. Did I steal that from someone?
Yeah, it was today.
I do not know
Okay.
this.
Never mind.
Okay.
It was used in a sentence that you heard today, so...
Okay. Well, I must have missed it then. But yes, voice acting. Like, these Spiral Spy things. Can we bring together HRPB and Sir Jinxable's, like, animation skill, plus, like, Zhang and some other people's vocal skill, Hood's vocal skill, plus, like, my video editing skill, and my video editing skill, and can we make something awesome, please? Can we, like...
Make something
like
unprecedented.
actual full animation that doesn't use like text on screen to explain what's happening. It's like something that you watch and it's a full living, breathing animation with like music and transitions and voices. And
It's alive!
Spiral. Yeah. Yeah, can we please do that?
I just realized I don't need my headphones because Zang is AWOL.
This is true. Though you might need them in just a second here. So let's jump into Buzzar Banter. And we may have Zang joining us.
Oh.
Buzzar Banter. Buzzar Banter is our gear discussion, and this week we are talking about the dangerous stuff. The battle dangerous costume gear. So there was a promotion sometime in the past, somewhere.
Wasn't that basically the Desna equipment?
Yes.
The Recon Rangers.
Yep, so it was the promotion that themed around this little crown symbol and a gray, yellow, white palette. And so
God,
there was...
I have people joining me everywhere now. Jesus.
Welcome to being popular.
This is the only reason why I
Oh, also we should introduce... Hi, Zang, you're here on the show now.
Yes, I am, and we're talking about a discussion, and we're talking about the dangerous armors, which I actually do enjoy, and I was kind of upset that I never got to actually get one. But I think I made up for it in the fact that I have the Iron Wolves stuff, because didn't the Iron Wolves precede the...
No, it came afterwards.
Yeah.
By a significant margin.
I mean, lore-wise.
Maybe? I don't know the lore.
If I remember
Sorry.
if I remember correctly, I think the Iron Wolves preceded the Recon Rangers. Or
All
at
right,
least
then.
were the means of leading to them.
All right.
I don't know.
Anyway, so it was the dangerous Brigandine, dangerous Hound Coat, and dangerous Draped Armor, which were the normal ones. The three normal armors that were just kind of reskins. They're nice reskins, but they're reskins. They're just palette swaps. And then there was the dangerous Grim Mask, the dangerous Diablo Helm, and then dangerous Oni Helm. And if you pay attention to the Overheard at Moorcroft Manor bumper that we run when we intro the news and discussions for this podcast, you can hear Zhang talking about the helmet is supposed to resemble a demon called an Oni.
Yes,
and
I had this discussion already. I made mention of this.
Mm-hmm. And so we talked about this. This gear came up in the life of the podcast, which is why we don't need to spend too much time about it. But that was when we were talking about this stuff when it came out, and it looks really nice. Grim Mask, Diablo Helm, and Oni Helm.
The helmets are probably the most appealing part, and they're probably one of the main things that people try to go for, because, to be honest, if you can get a reskin of the suits rather easily. They're just kind of just the palette swap, like you mentioned, so they're not really that enjoyable. It's the mask, when you got one horn sticking out, and it looks like the other one was broken off, that you used to beat the crap out of somebody.
Yep. And it looks like the three are supposed to resemble the three proto helmets, but they've been like added to. Yeah, they've got like, I don't know, goggles.
I like the
missing
the Grim
parts.
Mask that says,
and the Grim Mask.
that death is always watching, so you might as well put on a good show.
The one that's supposed to represent the one with the pigtails has one pigtail broken off, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Oni helm.
and the one that's the pith. The pith is my favorite. The pith was the one I started with, and I'm glad that the pith is the one that became the Oni. No, that was the Oni helm. I thought the Oni helm was the one with the one horn.
Yes.
Yes.
No. Pith helm, I don't know. Pith helm is Grim Mask. Oni helm is Tailed helm. And Diablo is the one with the one horn. No, that one's Pith. I don't know. Such confusing. Much strange, very reskin. Wow.
Darn it.
All right, but we
can't tell.
That's that. It looks nice. It was promotion only. Once again, one of those things where you made 3 rings of money by spending energy.
To be honest,
on
the
their
only
products.
real thing that came with that is if you got lucky and you found the mighty end. Or whatever. it was
The
called.
shield, right?
The shield,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that
The
was
shield
nice.
that was essentially a reskin of the Aegis, I think.
It was the Wise Allied shield or
Oh.
Gray Allied shield, whatever.
Yeah.
Fire resistance, shock resistance, normal and elemental shield.
Yep.
Much better, I might add, than the blue raspberry licorice shield that we got with this promotion, which is
Although, I don't know.
Oh, the Quasar thing. Whatever the heck you call that. I don't care.
that's a new one. I have not heard that description yet. That's pretty good.
The Quasar.
That's funny. All right. Next week we'll be talking Obsidian. I love this stuff.
Obsidian's really hard to break, yeah. Takes 5 minutes to break with your fist. That's why it's such a good armor.
He's been playing Minecraft again. Someone save him. Recover Lord Hood from the
Don't
depths
feel
of the
bad,
blocky
Lord,
world.
But I recently got Minecraft on my Xbox 360, and I'm probably going to be pumping a few hours of that into my break.
It's contagious.
It's contagious. Now you're gonna get me back playing too. Oh no.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no. Yes, there is. Save me now. It's
I
alright.
have a brother who plays
Yeah.
Minecraft on Xbox. So
Alright. Well, I think that's that. So let's move on to unique variants.
Ladies and gentlemen, your unique variants.
And we will be wrapping up with unique variants, which is just listener contributions and that kind of thing. We did get a contribution from Hiroya, and he just says, "Ever thought of being an advertising?" Let's read. Every thought?
I think it's ever.
I think it's ever thought of being an advertisement position for guild recruitment. Have people pay crowns to advertise their guild, use those crowns for your charity funds or giveaways? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
What's the price that we set? How many crowns a week so that we will promote your guild and with whatever message that you want? That's 400
10,000
words or
crowns
less.
a week.
10,000 crowns a week, and these will go not to us, our pocket. This will either go to promotions or giveaways that we host here, including what Skygarter suggested, which is he says you should put on a Guess the Gunner update contest, as you did with the battle sprites. We know it's close.
Yeah, this would have worked better. This worked better with the battle sprites because they had a sort of official launch, official date. They said in the next 6 months, so you kind of knew what to expect. This one, though, we don't know. All we know is that it's currently still in the works as of yesterday.
That just makes more fun guessing.
Yeah, people guess like 30 years
Yes,
from now.
the fun with guessing. It is.
So we'll put up a Gunner update contest if we get some funds, because we don't have any at the moment. We are lacking in all funds.
Oh, we're gonna the guessing thing. That
So
should be
if
fun.
you are a guild or rich person who would like to sponsor the show, so long as we are still featuring your prize money as prize money, we are happy to proclaim whatever you would have us proclaim, and we're happy to quote unquote sponsor you as you sponsor us in that sense. Also, if you are a guild and you would like to do the same, it'll cost you 10K a month or a week.
Yeah.
A week, 10K an episode, and so long as the money is received by the next episode, then we're happy to keep promoting your guild with whatever message you would like that falls within 400 words. Hey, so thanks for
Twitter.
stimulating the economy, Hiroya and Skygarter. That's why we need entrepreneurs. What? Like you, people that do bring new ideas and stuff like that. So if you want to sponsor anyways, happy to do that. It just has to be a regular thing. If you're just going to give random donations and stuff, it's a little harder. But
666
we don't want to. We don't.
crowns.
Yeah, people. We sent you 2 crowns. Now you got to say our message. No. You paid 25 crowns to give us 2 crowns, which we will promptly use to buy half of an ecto drop to send back to you. I don't know. It's like, we kind of don't want to go there.
That's
But anyways, just shouting out at the end. Shout out to the Maroka and Cognitive and Greenlink, and Greenlink and Lord Hood for helping test and Snakes. Was it Snakes who was with us? Oh man, who was the fourth person who was helping us out? Snakes, yes, it was Snakes.
Yeah, it was Snakes.
Who was helping?
Was Silent Bob, remember?
No, and Silent Bob. Yeah, the invisible third guy that we left behind in episode 50.
He's still there.
What do you mean?
Hmm?
There's not two of us. There's three.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where 2 came from. I was thinking 3. But, yeah, thanks to you guys for helping test Sparrow Knight's shopping list. Shopping list Season 2! It's coming soon, and by that I mean it's recording soon, and then the editing comes after that, and then the hype comes after that, and then the actual episodes come out. So maybe in a month, one of these times, it'll happen. There you go. Anyone you want to be shouting out to? Or will we be just shouting out at the end of the show?
I'll make a shout out to the consistent amount of people who seem to feel it necessary to continue to try and invite me into their guilds. Because being guildless apparently means that you're looking.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'll send you 10,000 crowns, and I'll advertise Lionheart right now. Lionheart's a guild that has current open recruiting positions.
A guild.
And
He's doing this for the podcast.
For the podcast, yeah, for everyone listening, all of our adoring fans. Let's see. It's dedicated to helping knights that are 2-star or above achieving Vanguard. So if you're a soldier, I think it's rank 4 or above, you're welcome to join. Just send a friend message to Mawa Shimono.
There's something about you have to be able to spell before you can join the guild, because send a friend message to this big long
it's MAWASH.
SHIMONO.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
then,
sorry. I just found that
that's
really funny.
With the message,
Kill me. Why?
yeah, I will. I want to join your guild. Just say that to her.
Oh,
Her,
that's
yeah.
sorry. I just found that really funny. And Zhang is like playing.
And then type in the letters.
And unfortunately,
Type in the numbers
snakes are
731411731 Alpha Alpha Zulu 13513 Alpha 10, and that's it. That's all you have to do. If you didn't remember that, then too bad. There's no
Rewind the
reminder.
tape and re-listen. Tape, CD, iTunes, what? YouTube.
And you have to do that in reverse.
In reverse. All right.
Okay.
Speaking of reverse, let's do the end of the show. At the beginning? No. The segues, they hurt. This is the end of episode 71, so you can tell a friend about us. Say, hey, this person talked about these guys. They're cool. They talk about... I don't know. Are we cool? I'm not cool.
Cool.
Sad.
I think maybe.
/ sad. They talked about the economy and the Jello armor, the Velixar armor, or whatever. I don't know. And
What?
all this stuff. And so you should listen. That's how we kind of get around and stuff. If you'd like to call us, you can do so at 1-678-322-7765. Did I say 2-3? Bah. Did I say 2, 3, or 2 times?
6131.
1-6-7... Oh, man. 1-678-322-7765. And that's actually in forward. You don't actually have to say that in reverse. In reverse, it's 56772238761. But, you know.
But, well, there you go.
Whatever. You can join the Steam group. We're at 182 members of the Arsenal podcast with Squelly in parentheses. You can just find out when we're streaming that way. You can actually follow us on Twitch, which is twitch.com, twitch.tv, just kidding, /Ladison_Sklay. And that will allow you to know when we are streaming also. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/SklayElite. And we just hit 400 subscribers this morning. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. So thanks, you guys. And keep it up. We'll keep putting out videos. You got more long videos coming out this week, so enjoy that. And then you can hear all the episodes of the Arsenal podcast, as well as the links we talked about in this show, and so much more on our website, which is sklayelite.com/Arsenal. If you want to contact us, you can email us at arsenal@sklayelite.com. And then we're also in game, of course. You can just shoot us mail.
Yes.
That's that. That's the spiel.
Send Ladison Sklay mail. Lots and lots of mail.
See how many.
Send it to Ladison's Glay instead of sending it to me.
Yeah, let's see. Can we do a mini contest? Sudden mini contest? if I get so many mails this week, then
69 males.
if I get,
No, we're not stink.
I don't know, what happens?
What happens? We tell about it on the show and list all the people who sent all the mail.
All right, we'll name you. If you send us mail, we'll name you on the show. And so 2 things must be true. I must receive at least 69 mails. Sparrow Knight systems do not count, so if there's an update or something like that, I'm not going to count those.
Unless it's from 1969. And
Yeah.
you can count it.
Yeah. And then we will name you. We have to hit 69, and you have to be a part of it, and then we'll name you. Those are the 2 qualifications. This has been Lattice and Sklay of the Sklay Elite, also known as the Skylark Elite.
Skylark Elite.
Well, Skylark Elite for long.
Ooh.
Sklay Elite for short.
With
This has
what?
been Lattice and Sklay with...
Zang.
With Hood.
And Head, of course.
I'm Lord Hood.
And this is Lattice and Sklay.
We'll see you next
And
time.
This is Drive Home
There's
Safe.
only 3 of us, that doesn't work.
What?
Best outro ever.
What?
Ooh.
What? Who? What? When?
My name is Zhang, and I think that this episode was great, even though I wasn't here for half of it.
Exactly.
This is Horde Lid.
And Citizen Lay.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Anyway.
We're all everybody.
Rambling.
That's how
Yes.
this works.
Yeah.
We are all.
Geared up and ready to go? Thanks for listening to The Arsenal, a Spiral Knights podcast. See links and listen to previous episodes on our website, skaleli.com/arsenal. Send comments, questions, and audio to arsenal@skaleli.com or give us a call at 1-678-322-7765.